So the first one goes to Kevin McKeown. Kevin, if you could come up. We also have from the office of Julia Brownlee and the office of Senator Sheila Kuehl certificates, and everybody gets 1 to 3 minutes max. For a politician, that's a lot, but for a public servant, that might be just right.
Well, thank you. I'm really honored to accept this first award, but let's start by acknowledging this is really a night of phenomenal firsts. This is the first time the Pico Youth and Family Center has put on an event like this. And you have done a wonderful job. This is really extraordinary. And I say that as somebody who's probably been at 100 different award-type dinners in the city of Santa Monica over the last 32 years. But this is the first one at which I'm an honoree. So I want to thank the Pico Youth and Family Center for that. And standing up here tonight, realizing that sometimes you're on one side and sometimes you're on the other, makes me think about how that works in a community. And what Danny said, it's all about how we help each other, man. You know, and sometimes you're the mentor, and sometimes you're the mentored. And they're both of tremendous value. And you get something out of being in either one of those two roles. Let me tell you a story about how that played out in my life. I have 2 wonderful full-time jobs. And you all know one is city council, because that's very visible. The other is I work for the school district. I have for over a decade. And I'm privileged to work with our kids, and I do computer support, Macintosh computer support for the schools. And I spend a lot of time, as it happens, at Olympic High School, because that's where my little tiny workshop is. Now, if you were to look on the computer network at Olympic High School, you would see that there is a server on that network named Elizabeth Clifford. That's my computer on the network serving the students of Olympic High School. So why do I have that server named Elizabeth Clifford? Don't worry, sweetie, it wasn't a former girlfriend. When I was in high school, I was in trouble, okay? My father died when I was 12 years old. And my mom did the best she could as a single mom, and it was no easier in the 60s than it is today, believe me. And by the time I got to be a junior in high school, I was pretty socially isolated because I'd been skipped 2 grades in grammar school. So all the other kids are 16 and I'm 14. Imagine that for social life, and imagine that for relating to friends. So I was not doing well, and I was not doing well academically. And there was a high school counselor in my high school who looked at me, looked at this poor Irish kid who wasn't doing well and saw something and did something about it. And she made sure that I took the college entrance tests, the SATs. And when I took them, they made me take them a second time because they were kind of surprised at how I did. And because of what she did in making me take those tests, I got a full scholarship to Yale University. And that would never have happened if not for that high school guidance counselor, whose name was Elizabeth Clifford. So when I named that computer Elizabeth Clifford, I did it very deliberately. I stayed in touch with Elizabeth through the end of her life. She ended up retired in Florida. But she's not gone. She is on the Olympic High School network at 10.140.253. And she's here in this room tonight. I just wanted to share with you that we're all part of something far larger than we'll ever know. And it's the acts that we take day by day, and it's organizations like the Pico Youth and Family Center who make that real for the kids in our city. Oscar talked about that night, that vigil in November of 1998 after too many of our kids had died. I was there that night. It was a couple of days later that I was elected for the first time to the Santa Monica City Council. And I promise you, I will never forget. Thank you so much.